how does Light just keep walking in there effortlessly? It's just really shocking to see.
Yeah, it's bizarre, honestly. And also, though, it does continue the trend. It looks like the one of the things that's happening is that siege mode hasn't been researched yet, or it hasn't been utilized at least by Upmagic, and that seems to be one of the ongoing trends in TvT these days. That siege mode is the last upgrade that you get, and you really don't see players making full use of it until later on. And at this point now, two starports going down for Light. So it looks like he might be in the process of countering with a two-port race force, noting the fact that there is nothing even that even resembles a Goliath in Upmagic's current unit.
And did you spot an armory up for Upmagic yet?
I have not. I haven't seen. We haven't seen a full sweep, and here it comes Light again into this base. This is getting ridiculous.
Maybe this is why Light is nicknamed the Invisible Terran. Um, I'd noted that
Oh
he's.
God!
Oh man, and Upmagic doing the same
Sorry.
thing. This is pandemonium here. We'll talk
Yeah.
nicknames later. Right now it's full-on SCV slaughter all over the place.
And also coming in though, Upmagic lost two tanks, I think, to spider mines. Just marched them directly in. And the first race are now on the field, so now Light going to be able to push back this force that's completely incapable of attacking the air. But not before a fair number of SCVs have been taken out. But it looks like he's in the process of transferring back, realizing that the threat is temporarily over.
Yeah, both players simultaneously harassing and doing decent damage to both players. Control tower now up for Upmagic, and we'll see if he's going to start his transition to dropships or go for cloak and try to negate Light's raids that way.
Yeah, I mean, based upon the fact that both races arrived at the same time, he has to be aware of the number of starports that Light has constructed. So it'll be curious to see whether or not he does go to try and retake air superiority, or if he's going to be content to go ahead and throw down an armory and try and come back into the game that way. But at this point, I think that the number of races is really going to account for something with this harassment, as the natural continues to take a pounding.
Yeah, with well, let's see, with 4 raids doing 8 damage each, 2 volleys will take out an SCV, and so it's going to go a lot faster for Light. And Light has those raids. He can use them to spot near that sort of gap so that vultures can shoot through from behind and kill more SCVs that way. In the meantime, Upmagic resuming the Wraith harassment of his own inside of Light's base. So this is just really chaotic harassment style play, and this is I guess we could say this is what we expected to see from Upmagic, but Light is adapting really well and playing this very solidly too.
Yeah, I'd have to say that Light is getting right there in there with him, and just playing equally as, if not better. I mean, he's playing Upmagic's game, and he's playing it quite well. I would have to say at this point, forcing all kinds of multitasking. These two players are but Cloak for Upmagic comes into effect right in time, and that is going to be the equalizer, at least for this point in time. I mean, immediately equalizes the number of race just with that cloaking maneuver. Very nice play from Upmagic, nice control.
Yeah, and I'm surprised to see that Light didn't have comsat stations up. And these raids are also going to catch an eyeful of that new command center going up, so Upmagic's going to know that Light is looking to take a third. 2 control towers going up for Light, so I'm thinking he's going to get Cloak of his own for sure, but probably going to look toward mass dropships later in the game.
Indeed, getting those control towers now is certainly going to be very, very important for him as he transitions into the late game with just massive dropships, which is what you start to see as Terrans progress further and further into this matchup. In the meantime, it looks like we've actually got a Light contain outside of Light's base by Upmagic. In the meantime, however, Light just continues to pepper away at this expansion. SCV after SCV seems to fall, but now losing those rays to these cloaked rays from Upmagic, up right quick and in a hurry. So Comsat Station lack still coming into play.
Yeah, these dogfights have been reminding me from that game we commentated from the Heritage League between Boxer and Toss Girl,
And
where we
Toss
just
Girl, yep.
see, where we just see, you know, the degree of multitasking that's really required for a wraith dogfight. It's not something we see as commonly as say Mutalisk micromanagement from Zergs, because that happens in just about every matchup. But yeah, it's still no less impressive a feat of micromanagement to exhibit good wraith control.
Indeed, and Upmagic has been showing us quite a bit of it. You'll note that it's a similar situation in the sense also that, like that game that we casted, where Toscarl had erected 2 starports, and Boxer only had the 1. Upmagic has managed to do exactly the same thing. He's managed to completely snake away that air superiority despite the lack in production of buildings. So he has been able to, utilizing Cloak smartly and right on time, has been able to completely overtake the superiority in the air with fewer units, exhibiting just great strategy as well as good control.
Yeah, and let's see, both players looking to set up a third base. Upmagic had the SCV building his picked off, and the first dropships are hitting the field for Light. Light, meanwhile, has also set up his third base over at the 2 o'clock position, and now you have to wonder what's going on with that containment that Upmagic is setting up, because, well, Light's already on the outside of it. And dropships now for Upmagic as well, so we're seeing another shift in tech.
Indeed, and right in time are those turrets. Very, very nice time there in terms that he just constructed those turrets, and they were right in place, ready for that drop. Managed to keep Upmagic from deploying more forces over in that ridge, and looks like he's going to very comfortably hold that attempted drop and slay that insurgent force.
Also, I don't think Light would have really minded too much if Upmagic did manage to drop more forces, because he dropped them right on top of mines, and that tank just was not long for the world.
Yeah, not having the best day, I would have to say. And at this point, it looks like Upmagic is actually in the process of taking a tertiary base. So while his containment doesn't seem particularly powerful, we're going to really see it tested in a second here as Light is loading up dropships, which I can only imagine is going to mean that he's going to be on the move very, very soon, and probably in an effort to take out the Light contain and maybe try and advance his way down the.
Or, as the Korean observer is pointing out, he might just try to drop the far right side of Upmagic's main, where it looks like he could do quite a bit of damage while Upmagic's forces are out on the map.
Indeed, and at this point, however, they're spotted. All of those dropships have been spotted by Upmagic's vultures, so now he has to understand exactly what's going on, and does in fact have his own dropships responding to this. SEV's being pulled over in an attempt to, I guess, shield for the offensive units of Upmagic, and this is going to be quite the little clash here. It looks like, however, Upmagic is coming out well on top, and that little piece of information that he got with his vultures was very, very instrumental in making that.
Yeah, Light's drop cleaned up there, but he took out a lot of those SCVs that were screening for his units, and I think economy-wise, Light is pulling pretty well ahead with between all of the economic harassment and the faster third base. So I don't think Upmagic is doing as well as all that, in spite of having cleaned up that drop okay.
Yeah, you're probably right with regards to that. He did manage to get his offensive units over there, but they were being the only reason that they managed to really get over there safely, I would have to imagine, is because of the fact that the offensive units for Light were busy slaughtering SCVs at the time. So, that's I suppose you can take some consolation in himself in the fact that he did get rid of those units. But indeed, I would have to imagine that Upmagic at this point is suffering a little bit from the consistent harassment that he's been affecting. And at this point, it looks like he's trying to double expand, maybe in an effort to really get himself back into